The Pacific sign did not get its appearance by accident. It was designed by the British artist Gerald Holtham in 1958 for the nuclear disarmament movement. Holtham took the first letters of these words, N and D, and combined their semaphore designations. In the semaphore alphabet, the letter N is conveyed by flags stretched down into the sides, and the letter D by one flag up and the other down. The first use of anesthetic in childbirth was in 1847. For this, thanks must go to the Scottish Dr. James Young Simpson, who discovered the anesthetic effect of chloroform. One of the women in labor was so impressed with the painlessness of the process that she named her newborn baby girl Anesthesia. In 1941, during a concert of the Norwegian Philharmonic Orchestra, a group of Nazis burst into the hall. Their aim was to capture the violinist with Jewish roots, Ernst Glaser, and hand him over to the German occupation authorities. But conductor Harald Heide immediately ordered the musicians to play the Norwegian national anthem, which confused the attackers and allowed Glaser to flee backstage. An Egyptian tablet for students, the text could be peeled off and used again. It is about 4,000 years old. Kedai dynasty of the pharaohs. It is interesting that even then the mistakes in the text were highlighted in red by the teachers. In 1944, Onoda Hero, a junior lieutenant in the Japanese army, was ordered to lead a guerrilla unit on the Philippine island of Lubang. Having lost his soldiers in the fighting, Onoda managed to survive and escaped into the jungle. In 1974, Onoda Hero was found on the same island where he was still a guerrilla. Not believing the war was over, the lieutenant refused to lay down his arms. Only when Onoda's immediate commander arrived on the island and ordered him to surrender did he come out of the jungle, acknowledging Japan's defeat. Arnold Schwarzenegger with his older brother Meinhard, 1967, Austria. In 1971, Meinhard Schwarzenegger crashed to his death in a car while returning home in a drunken state. Arnold did not come to the funeral, but subsequently took on the support of Meinhard's son. In ancient Rome, there was a tradition of giving a personal name only to the 4 eldest sons, while the others could be given by ordinal numerals: Quintus 5th, Sextus 6th, Septimus 7th, and so on. Over time, these names became common, and as a consequence, the man who bore the name Sextus was not necessarily the 6th son in the family. A 1941 Japanese cartoon depicting British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and US President Franklin Roosevelt as octopuses, which a brave Japanese samurai officer had chopped off the tentacles that entangled almost all of Asia. Napoleon Bonaparte was an insatiable reader. Louis-Antoine Fauvel de Bourrienne, Bonaparte's comrade and later his secretary, reported the following: Napoleon read avidly from an early age. Whenever he had free time at the military school in Brienne, he ran to the library, where he read with great zeal history books, especially Polybius and Plutarch. The future emperor especially liked Arrian, to a lesser extent Quintus Curtius. He also read a number of English works in translation. Stalin was not only a Soviet leader but also an Indian leader, and he even had a headdress corresponding to the leader of the Indian tribe. Indian crown was transferred to the Soviet Union in January 1942 by the delegates of the All-American Congress of the Indian Tribes. Native Americans unanimously elected Joseph Vissarionovich as the leader of all Native Americans. Especially for the Secretary General, they made a large wreath of rare eagle feathers